which in Hebrew would be the Hidekel. Yeah, Tigris. You know how in Genesis we see that there were four rivers that came out of the Gan Eden, and those four rivers, well, this is one of those four, the Hidekel. Hidekel means rapid, as in the waters of that river are. Now on the 24th day of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river that is the Hidekel, the rapid, I lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose waist was girded with gold of Uphaz. This is important because we see on the 24th day of the first month, as I have explained, the two witnesses will begin on the first month because they must end on the 7th month, and they last 3.5 years. So if there were 3 years of the ministry, they would end when they start, but 3.5 means that they will end on the other end of the year in which they begin. Hope that's understood. 3.5. So if they start in Nisan, they end in Tishri. If they start in Tishri, they end in Nisan. Yet, since Yahushua already fulfilled the first part, then we can pretty much come to the conclusion that they will begin, the two witnesses, when Yahushua ended his ministry. Yahushua ended on the first month. So on the first month, the two witnesses dressed in sackcloth to begin their ministry for 3.5 years. So 3.5 years from the first month takes us to the 7th month, which is Tishri or Etanim. Now, so Daniel is in the first month, which would be when the two witnesses begin their ministry. 24th day, it is pretty much around the time when, 24 makes reference to time, like I said, because of the 24 hours of the day. And because Yahushua died on the 15th, then 3 days later came back to life. And that would be the moment, or right after that, when he came back to life, that the two witnesses would start their ministry. And like I said, the 24th day is pretty much less than a week before, less than a week from the time Yahushua resurrected. Makes reference to time, make reference to the prophets. The first month make reference to when Yahushua died and when the two witnesses begin. Then, as I was by the side of the great river is life, is it also represents prophecy. That is the Hidekel, the rapid. So it is no coincidence that Daniel was there when he received this vision. And if he happened to be in a place that has no relevance to the message, he would not write it down, or at least Yahweh would not tell him write it down, because perhaps he just wrote it as knowledge, but Yahweh was telling us that his manifestation in the end times, when the day of 24 hours, when the day of the Son of Man comes, and I mean 24 hours, not is going to take 24 hours like we know them. I mean the 24 number that appear in this verse makes reference to a day. And we know the end as the day of the Son of Man, the day of Yahweh also, because it's when the last millennium will begin, which is the day of Yahweh, because to Yahweh 1 day is 1,000 years. So the fact that he says that he was by the rapid, Hidekel, the river, is to let us know that he will manifest rapidly. Then he says, I lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man. So right when he's telling us about the river that means rapid, he says that a man appeared right away. I repeat, that is to confirm the fact that it represents that at the end Yahweh will manifest. In Habakkuk 2 verse 2, it says, then Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. That he may run who reads it. Run, because it's going to be fast. Make it plain, because it needs to be understood quickly. You cannot be thinking about it and going uh, with the vision, trying to figure out what it means, because then the time will happen and you won't know what was going to happen. So that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie. There are different ways in which this could be translated. Just want to make that clear. But the point is what's coming afterwards. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. This is amazing, and it seems to be a contradiction. Is not, and it's, when we see it spiritually, it's not a contradiction. When we see it earth in a fleshy way or a natural, physical, literal way, yeah, of course, because it's like saying, even though it tarries, it takes a long time, it will come. It won't take a long time. So in Yahweh's perspective, it won't take a long time, because to him it's just one day is 1,000 years. For us, 1,000 years. So to us it may seem like a long time, 1,000 years, but to him it's just one day, so it's not a long time. So it depends on the perspective. If you see it as a human, for the man it will tarry, even though Yahweh is the one who knows the time. So men would be acting like children, in the sense that they don't know when something is coming, and their lack of patience makes them think that it's taking too long. So they complain and say, oh, why is it taking so long? This is not going to happen, blah, 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 blah. But it's because they don't have time. They don't have patience. Yahweh is eternal. He's the owner of all time. He created it. So even if people think that he's late, whenever he manifests is the exact moment when it had to happen, when he had to manifest. So for humanity, the end times has been taking too long. However, when you talk to an individual, he will say that no, it needs to take more time. It should happen in 100, 200, so that they can live. And that's not how they say it, but that's what they mean. Many of them. So it is hypocritical for humanity as a whole, because it's pretty much how it happens, to say that Yahweh is not manifesting, that Yahweh is taking too long, 2,000 years since his first coming, that's way too much, etc. Yet when you talk individually to people, because of their own life, they will prefer if this would last even more. So it's very hypocritical, I repeat, because it's just a way to go against what he promised. When we talk about him coming, well, instead of people being happy because of what that would mean, they are afraid, because they don't know scriptures, they don't know him, and they go away from him, and therefore they go to the part that will receive punishment, and of course then they would or should be afraid. So Habakkuk 2:3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it's actually going to happen very quick. It's going to happen when nobody's expecting it. It's going to happen when nobody's seeing it, because he's coming like a thief in the night, preaching for 3.5 years, and people won't even understand what it is, and they will hate him and kill him. Like I was saying, the world in general will hate the two witnesses and kill them. Yet if you speak to an individual, most of those who believe in scriptures would say, oh, if I were to meet the two witnesses, I would believe. Oh, I'm waiting for them. Oh, I hope they come. Oh, I hope I can see them. Even though in Christianity, most people don't even know of the two witnesses. In Christianity, most people think that the two witnesses have nothing to do with Christians. They think that it only has to do with Jewish people, making a separation that Yahweh doesn't make. So it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it will happen quick. People will not realize it. Basically, when the time comes for them to be able to know how it was to happen, it will be too late already to have accepted him the doctrine, etc. So it's interesting because they say it's taking too long, it's taking too long, it's taking too long, but it's going to happen. And then they will say, when? When did it happen? Oh no, that was fast.